An absolute palace earthquake tonight. And this time, Prince William is taking no prisoners. After explosive leaks revealed Meghan Markle is plotting a sick new Netflix movie to target the royal family, the future king has just unleashed a brutal legal takedown that will shatter Hollywood. For years, the public has watched in absolute disbelief as the Duke and Duchess of Sussex have capitalized on their royal titles, trading in family secrets for multi-million-dollar payouts. We have seen the Oprah interview, the countless podcasts, the explosive memoir, and the endless stream of grievances aired out for the highest bidder. But just when you thought the well of victimhood had finally run dry, just when you assumed Hollywood had grown entirely exhausted by the Sussexes' predictable narrative, a brand new scheme has emerged from Montecito. And this one crosses a line so profound, so deeply personal, that the future King of England has decided enough is finally enough. The era of silent, dignified restraint is officially over. Prince William is stepping into the arena, and he is bringing the full, devastating weight of the crown's legal apparatus with him. The inciting incident that has completely shattered the fragile peace behind palace walls revolves around deeply concerning, explosive leaks regarding what is being dubbed the Meghan Markle Royals Movie Part 2. Or, according to some incredibly well-placed Hollywood insiders, a brand new, highly sensationalized Netflix documentary project explicitly designed to once again smear the monarchy. Let us look at the reality of the situation in the year 2026. The Sussexes are facing a severe relevancy crisis. The initial novelty of their royal departure has long since worn off. The American public, once captivated by their dramatic exit, has grown increasingly apathetic, if not downright hostile, to their perpetual complaining. Their grand Hollywood reinvention has stalled. Deals have dried up, executives have publicly labeled them grifters, and their attempts to pivot into lifestyle branding and glossy podcasting have met with crushing indifference. So, what does a desperate couple do when the spotlight fades and the vast lifestyle costs of a Montecito mansion continue to mount? They return to the only playbook that has ever yielded financial results. They sell out the royal family. Word spreading through the highest echelons of the entertainment industry suggests that Meghan has been actively shopping a script, or at the very least, a heavily outlined production, intended to be a blockbuster streaming event. This project is not about her philanthropy. It is not about her domestic life. It is a direct, calculated attack aimed precisely at the heart of the institution, and more specifically, at Prince William and Catherine, the Princess of Wales. Sources indicate that this proposed film or documentary aims to rewrite the history of their time in the United Kingdom, fabricating entirely new grievances and dragging the Princess of Wales into the mud for pure entertainment value. The audacity is genuinely breathtaking. Imagine having the sheer nerve to try and commercialize the private pain and the deeply personal family dynamics of the very institution you abandoned, all to secure a quick payday from a streaming giant. The leaks suggest a narrative filled with distorted truths, heavily dramatized confrontations, and a carefully curated victim narrative designed to make Meghan the ultimate heroine of a deeply twisted fairy tale, while casting the future king and queen as the ultimate villains. Naturally, a platform like Netflix, always hungry for the kind of guaranteed viewership that royal scandal invariably brings, would be the primary target for such an inflammatory pitch. After all, their initial documentary series, despite the immense global backlash, generated massive numbers. The temptation to replicate that success, to manufacture another global viewing event built on the ruins of royal family relations, is undoubtedly high for streaming executives desperately searching for their next big hit. But what Meghan and her Hollywood representatives completely failed to calculate was the swiftness and the sheer ferocity of the response from London. This is not the same royal family that simply abides by the mantra of never complain, never explain. This is Prince William's territory now, and he is fiercely protective of his wife, his children, and the legacy of the crown. When the whispers of this sick new Netflix movie reached Kensington Palace, the reaction was not one of passive sorrow. It was one of absolute, unadulterated fury, the kind of cold, calculated anger that precedes a massive tactical strike. To fully understand the magnitude of this palace earthquake, you have to put yourself in Prince William's shoes. For years, he has had to watch his only brother lob grenade after grenade over the palace walls. He has stood by, bound by duty and protocol, while his wife, a woman who has given everything to the institution and the country, has been subjected to relentless, unfounded attacks on global television. He has endured the spectacle, the endless televised whining, the betrayal of private conversations leaked to sympathetic journalists, and the outright lies published in a deeply vengeful memoir. Through it all, William has maintained a dignified silence, choosing to focus on his royal duties, his charitable initiatives, and preparing for the immense burden of one day becoming king. But there is a distinct difference between enduring a public relations headache and allowing a commercial entity to actively profit from the defamation of your family. This leaked movie project crosses the ultimate red line. It is no longer just about family drama. It is about an unprecedented corporate exploitation of the British monarchy, orchestrated by a woman who holds onto her royal title purely for commercial leverage. William sees this not just as an insult, but as a direct threat to the integrity of the crown itself. The realization that the Sussexes were actively trying to turn the real-life struggles and private moments of the royal family into a lucrative, scripted Hollywood spectacle was the absolute breaking point. William knows that to allow this to happen would be to set a disastrous precedent, effectively opening the floodgates for anyone to commodify the monarchy for personal enrichment. Therefore, he is not just reacting emotionally. He is orchestrating a preemptive, devastating strike against the very foundation of this Hollywood cash grab. To comprehend the brilliant strategy William is currently deploying, we have to look back at the historical precedent that was firmly established during the infamous Sandringham Summit. When Harry and Meghan first announced their shocking intentions to step back from their roles as senior working royals, they pitched a highly unrealistic half-in, half-out model to the institution. They desperately wanted to retain all the prestige, the titles, the security, and the global platform that comes with being intimately associated with the British monarchy, while simultaneously pursuing completely unrestricted commercial opportunities in North America. Queen Elizabeth II, a monarch of unparalleled wisdom and unwavering dedication to a lifetime of duty, saw straight through this incredibly flawed proposal. She recognized the inherent danger of blurring the lines between public service and private enterprise. The late Queen laid down an absolute ironclad rule that resonated across the globe. There would be no commercial exploitation of the royal status. You cannot represent the sovereign. You cannot carry the weight of a 1,000-year history, while simultaneously signing multi-million-dollar deals with streaming platforms to spill family secrets for public consumption. It was a rule specifically designed to protect the mystique, the dignity, and the fundamental purpose of the institution. For a while, the Sussexes attempted to navigate the gray areas of this agreement, continuously pushing the boundaries with their initial media deals by claiming they were simply telling their own truth. But a scripted movie, a heavily dramatized documentary project explicitly engineered to target the future king and queen for entertainment purposes, obliterates those carefully constructed boundaries entirely. Prince William is now strictly enforcing the rules his grandmother laid out, stepping into his ultimate authority with a level of ruthlessness that has reportedly left Meghan's Hollywood team entirely stunned. William is making it abundantly clear that the immense leniency of the past is definitively gone. He is drawing heavily upon the historical precedent of the crown fiercely protecting its own copyright, its own carefully curated image, and its own historical narrative. The British monarchy is not a public domain reality television show, available for endless adaptation by whichever disgruntled former member decides they desperately need a new influx of cash to fund their extravagant California lifestyle. It is an institution of state, and William is utilizing every single legal mechanism at his formidable disposal to defend it against corporate vultures. This brings us to the brutal consequence that is currently sending absolute shockwaves through the executive boardrooms of Netflix. The future king is not just sending a polite, strongly worded warning through diplomatic back channels. He is allegedly mobilizing the crown's most aggressive and formidable legal minds to execute a complete, uncompromising shutdown of this project. While the precise behind-the-scenes details of these high-level maneuvers are currently based on intense insider speculation and industry whispers, the consensus among well-connected royal watchers and entertainment analysts is that a monumental legal battle is brewing. William is reportedly prepared to slap Netflix with a massive, unprecedented cease and desist order that will freeze production in its tracks. But he is not stopping there. The ingenious legal strategy is said to involve threatening the complete revocation of all royal copyright access. This is the ultimate, undeniable trump card. A project like the rumored Meghan Markle Royals movie, or any accompanying hit piece documentary, would rely incredibly heavily on archival footage, historic royal imagery, broadcast rights, and access to the very visual aesthetic of the monarchy. By legally blocking Netflix from utilizing any intellectual property associated with the crown, William would effectively cripple the production before a single frame is even shot or a single line of script is finalized. He is intentionally making the project legally toxic, creating a nightmare scenario where the massive financial risk for Netflix far outweighs any potential streaming reward. Imagine the sheer panic within the streaming giant's corporate headquarters. They originally signed the Sussexes expecting premium, exclusive access to the inner workings of the world's most famous family. Instead, they are now facing the very real prospect of a catastrophic, extremely public legal collision with the future king of the United Kingdom. William's message is loud loud, it is clear, and it is undeniably brutal in its execution. If you attempt to profit from the defamation of his family, if you try to turn his wife's private life into a cheap, sensationalized Hollywood script, you will not just face public condemnation, you will face the absolute crushing power of the Crown's legal authority. He is meticulously cutting off the oxygen to the Sussexes' commercial ambitions, aiming his sights right at the massive corporate source of their funding. By targeting Netflix directly, William is effectively stating that anyone who partners with Meghan and Harry in their continued venomous campaign against the monarchy will be considered complicit and will be dealt with accordingly. This is a massive, unprecedented escalation, transforming a bitter familial dispute into a high-stakes corporate and legal war. And in this particular war, Prince William holds all the power, all the leverage, and all the historical backing necessary to completely obliterate Meghan's latest Hollywood dream. The reverberations of this royal crackdown are causing absolute panic throughout the wider entertainment industry. Hollywood operates on a simple premise of risk versus reward. Hollywood executives are notoriously ruthless when it comes to their bottom line. They do not care about personal vendettas. They care about profit margins and avoiding unnecessary public relations disasters. While the Sussexes were once perceived as the ultimate prize, the immense risk they now bring is entirely disproportionate to any potential payoff. Streaming executives are looking at the stark reality of facing off against the British monarchy's elite legal team, rapidly concluding that no sensationalized movie is worth that kind of unprecedented corporate headache. The legal fees alone to battle a massive copyright infringement lawsuit would be astronomical. Furthermore, actively funding a fabricated attack on the beloved Princess of Wales would trigger catastrophic subscriber cancellations across Britain and the entire Commonwealth. It is literal corporate suicide. Consequently, the industry is witnessing the dramatic freezing out of the Sussexes. This looming legal threat acts as a giant flashing warning sign to every other studio and agency in town. Do business with these two, and you invite the immediate wrath of the Crown. Meghan's grand vision of becoming a Hollywood powerhouse is crumbling because the future king has made her completely radioactive. Back in Montecito, the atmosphere must be nothing short of sheer panic. For Harry and Meghan, this is the nightmare scenario they arrogantly assumed would never happen. They genuinely believed their newly minted celebrity status would shield them from real consequences, continuously poking the bear while hiding behind slick American PR teams. But Prince William's brutal power move has entirely shattered that illusion. Meghan is facing the terrifying reality that her primary source of income, her ability to monetize her royal grievances, is being systematically dismantled. The multi-million-dollar mortgage, the extensive security detail, and the extravagant lifestyle cannot be sustained on failed podcast deals and rejected animated series. Without the royal connection, without the ability to dish dirt on the institution, what exactly are they selling? The global audience has already fiercely rejected their attempts at generic lifestyle advice. Their entire brand identity is intrinsically linked to their status as royal victims, and William is legally starving that brand of its necessary oxygen. Their team is undoubtedly scrambling to formulate a counterattack, likely preparing to cry to friendly media outlets about how the monarchy is trying to silence Meghan once again. But this tired narrative has lost its power. The public has seen behind the curtain, and the victim card has permanently expired. This is exactly why the response from royal watchers across the globe has been one of immense, vengeful satisfaction. People are utterly thrilled to finally see someone stand up to the relentless Sussex publicity machine. For years, the public has been deeply frustrated by the apparent lack of pushback from Buckingham Palace. It felt incredibly unjust that Meghan could hurl accusations and rake in millions, while the working royals were forced to turn the other cheek in dignified silence. William's aggressive stance changes the entire dynamic, delivering a deeply cathartic moment of justice. The audience despises seeing Meghan cynically use a royal title she claims brought her misery just to secure lucrative Hollywood deals. To see William legally destroy those hypocritical dreams is exactly the definitive closure the public has been craving. Most importantly, it demonstrates William's absolute devotion to protecting his wife. Catherine has been the primary target of so much unwarranted vitriol, bearing it all with remarkable grace. William stepping in to aggressively shield her from this rumored Netflix movie is a massive display of husbandly loyalty and future kingly strength. He is proving he will never allow his wife to be reduced to a caricatured villain in Meghan Markle's fictionalized comeback attempt. Ultimately, this marks the definitive end of an era. The days of the Sussexes easily cashing in on the crown are completely over. Prince William has drawn an immovable line in the sand, utilizing the full might of his future position to protect his family's legacy and definitively shut down this Hollywood cash grab. He has signaled to the entire world that the monarchy is not for sale, and that actions originating from a lavish estate in California have very severe consequences. The ultimate fate of this Meghan Markle Markle Netflix project now hangs entirely in the balance, teetering on the edge of complete collapse, thanks to a ruthless legal strategy orchestrated by a prince who has finally had enough. The future king has spoken, and Hollywood is suddenly listening very closely. Should William sue Netflix and Meghan? Drop your truth in the comments.